I stand corrected. I can't. I guess I've watched so many videos of this human being doing so many impersonations. It actually all blended into the fact that in 2024, Marcella Lentz-Pope joined us before. And it's great to have her back. She's
Are
got
you saying I was right and you were
Of
wrong?
course. By the way, I have no issue with that.
Yay!
Absolutely. I got
Woohoo!
scammed, by the way. I don't know if you know that. I got scammed online. And I caught it, but they got me. And, oh, yeah, dude, totally wrong. Happy to be wrong, as a matter of fact. Happy to be wrong. Be wrong quickly.
Can I make you a T-shirt that says "I'm happy to be wrong"? I know what I'm getting you for your birthday.
She's got over 2 decades of experience in the industry. Marcella is a voice actor, and she can't be actually pigeonholed. If you've seen her work, it is vast and diverse. She's voiced Scottish fairies, Russian demons, English princesses, zombies, of course. Matter of fact, she is high atop Gotham's largest building in one of her more recent projects and can freakishly sound like young children. She studied for years perfecting accents and dialects from around the world and has an excellent ear for impressions. If I tried to give you her IMDb resume, we would be here for the majority and the length of this. So why don't we simply skip all the brouhaha and say good morning to Marcella Lentz-Pope. Good morning to you and welcome back.
Good morning. Thank you guys so much for having me back.
Well, and also, by the way,
And what an intro. Very kind of you.
Thank you.
well, first of all, happy belated birthday to you, my friend.
Aw, thank you. Yes, it was this past weekend. That's so sweet of you.
Did you get the yellow flowers that I sent you and put them on your table?
Oh, my gosh. You sweet, sweet thing. That was you?
That was me.
My silly husband said it was him. Wow.
He is a liar.
I'm going to reprimand him.
He is a liar. He's trying to take credit. Okay, obviously I'm a creepy stalker and saw that on your page, but I love, first of all, I want to know if you live in a magical house because that little circle window where your table and flowers are look like you live in a Hobbit house.
I know. I don't, but that little circle window is like all the magic that I need. One of the reasons why we wanted to live here is that little circle window.
I get it. It's so cute.
It's great.
Okay, well, happy birthday. Glad you're here. I want to dive in, and I want to start here by saying, before we dive into your repertoire, I'm so curious about, like, first of all, voices in your personal life. And I bring this up because, I'm a singer, and I love to sing, of course, but there's times when you're like, people are like, oh, you're a singer, sing something for me. And I'm like, no, dude, not right now. We're in a bar or whatever, and they're like, oh, are you shy? And I'm like, no, it's my job. And I'll never forget, I was at a bar one time, and this man went down, he was asking like all my girlfriends what they did for a living, and they got to me. He said, what do you do? I said, a singer. He said, sing for me. And I said, sir, what do you do for a living? And he said, I'm an architect. And I said, design me something. And he goes, oh, I get it. So you have one of those jobs that is the same. Are people constantly making you dance, monkey dance?
Sometimes, but it depends on how I word it. I won't always say I do impressions. Because I know if I say I do impressions, then people will be like, oh, well, give me something. So otherwise, I'll just say I'm an actor. I won't even say voice actor because then they'll be like, oh, do some voices. So I'll just say I'm an actor, and usually what I will get is, oh, what's your resume? And I'm like, well, what do you do? If you're going to ask a doctor, like, what's their resume of surgeries they've done? But it's understanding, like, it is a very interesting occupation. So I understand that people are kind of curious about it. But yeah, definitely if I'm not in the mood to do impressions, I don't say I do them.
Wow, that's just the reminder. Use the word. It just, everybody, when you see Marcella somewhere out, remember, this is her occupation. It's not her hobby. She might also loves to do
if
it.
I'm at a party or something, I will gladly, bring, it's a party trick anyways.
You're
so
a party
I'll gladly
trick.
bring it out. Yeah.
I want to talk about what it is you're working on right now because, the fact of the matter is that, a lot of people don't understand something else about being an actor is that it's not always the same thing. Doing a performance as yourself on a screen or on a stage, well, those two things aren't the same. Doing a voiceover is something incredibly different. Doing an audiobook is something incredibly different. How do you, and I'm asking this question to somebody who actually knows a little bit about this, how do you make those adjustments? How do you, and you live in a gig economy where you're going from place to place to place. So in regards, is there any period of adjustment? What do you use in regards to getting your instrument where you need it to be, where it's like, okay, you've got to leave the film set and now walk into the sound studio and not have anybody to talk to directly because you're recording this out of order? And you're laughing because you know exactly what I'm talking about. So kind of let our listeners know, because like Lindsay is very obsessed, as am I, with reminding our listeners that sausage has to be made and that it's
Yes.
important to understand how much work goes into what often seems so simple.
It does. Usually I will have time to work on a project though, so I will be in that world. So I won't necessarily be stuck on another job that I'm doing and having to think about my next one. I'll be able to kind of really focus on the job at hand and get through that. When it comes to acting though, even though yes, they're all very different and they might all have a little trick or something here or there that you'll need to adjust, for the most part, acting is acting. You want to be believable, you want to be vulnerable, you want to be real. Whether that's a video game, an audiobook, or in a movie. So I really just try to do my best acting, my best work, whatever it is. Just sometimes there's an added little voice to it, or I'm playing something. If it's on screen, obviously I'm playing myself, my age. I'm not playing a 5-year-old boy. But acting is acting, and you just want to bring your craft. And if you've worked long enough and you've studied and you've taken classes, it gets easier, and it gets easier and easier and easier the longer you do it. But I'm still always learning, and I will always be learning. That's the thing with acting is you're never complete and like, oh, I'm done. I'm done learning. I've learned everything, and now I'm just doing this. No, it's constantly changing. It's constantly evolving, and you want to make sure that you're staying on top of it as well.
You were playing a 5-year-old boy, though. What would you sound like?
Oh, Dance Monkey.
You're ready for Dance Monkey?
No, not yet. Well, let's talk about Gilda Dent then a little bit. Gilda Dent and Batman, because I think it's so fascinating. This was so fascinating to me that you called her a very complex character. Of course she is, but I don't know why I giggled about. I'd never thought about animated things being complex. Obviously they are. But hearing you said it was the first time it dinged to me. So outside of just developing a character voice, not only are you like looking at something and being like, I think she would sound like this. Now you've got to lean into what's like these made up feelings of a character. How does that even work?
So with something like that, you really do want to find something that you can relate to the character. And Gilda Dent, who is, for anyone who doesn't know the DC Batman universe, she's Harvey Dent's wife. Harvey Dent is famously Two-Face in Batman. And in a lot of the stories, we never hear Gilda. We don't know about her. But in this particular comic book, or graphic novel, sorry. Graphic novel, there is a difference. In this particular graphic novel, Gilda Dent plays a very big role, and we actually really get to know her. And she's more than just Harvey's wife. But that was how I kind of got to connect with her. She is a woman who very, very strongly wants to become a mother and is having a difficult time with that. And she and Harvey want to become parents. And she also wants Harvey to be at home more. And there's a lot of drama in there that's really delicious to work into. And the cool thing about this specific graphic novel that we're doing, the script is exactly the same words as in the novel. They have not added anything. So it's basically it's a podcast, not an animated show. It's DC's the official DC's account first full-on drama, like audio drama podcast. It's incredible. It sounds like the old radio shows back in, the 1940s or so, with all the sound effects and everything. And it's very, very dark.
It's a great, by the way, the text is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's The Long Halloween, and it's
The Long Halloween.
It is up there with Arkham Asylum as one of the most, it's a genuinely terrifying, if you guys don't know it. It's a horror novel.
It really, really is. It's incredible. And it was very cool while we were recording it. We had the panels of the graphic novel like alongside the script, so I was able to see everything that's going on, and then like that's my line, and okay, I'm saying, and so I was able to really live in there and see this incredible art of her and what's happening. And it's, I mean, if people know about Batman, Batman is, it's a crime. He's a detective. So all of the Batman stories are really about crime and who done it and how do we catch the murderer, basically, when it comes down to it. And that's very much the mystery in this one. The Long Halloween, there is a killer on the loose, Holiday, and they're trying to figure out who the Holiday killer is. And without giving any spoilers, my part is very important.
Very important, by the way. It's really funny, as you probably will figure out really quickly here, Marcella. And by the way, you can call it a comic book. That makes me crazy. It's like I'm a big fan, but I've gotten past that stage of my life.
I don't want to offend anyone. It's more than a comic book.
It's more than a comic book. It's a genuine work of art. But it was really funny, Lindsay, when I saw that she was playing Gilda, I went, oh. That ain't just a little throw off character, guys. No. Oh man, Gilda Dent plays a large role as a character.
An incredible role. There's a lot of dynamics to her. I had so much fun voicing her. I really, really did. And she's very emotional, and the end speech and everything. It was very, very special to work on. And then listening to it, all episodes are out now. So I just finished listening to the last episode. It's incredible. They've done such a good job. Like really, you just immerse yourself into the world. So that's what I've been listening to on my drives lately, which is weird if you're listening to yourself, I guess, but it's fun.
Yeah, the other thing about it is, and I listened to the first episode. The other thing about it is that it's so clean. This is what is so interesting about this style of acting, is that you've got to play in a heightened style while still finding what is true. And a lot of people don't realize that, because often you'll hear people like, man, I saw them on the stage, I heard them on the radio, I heard them on the podcast, and they sounded just like real life. And I go, no, they didn't. I said, in what real life do you actually communicate exposition so clearly and with such impeccable diction while still giving the patina? This is what's really cool. Right. People will stumble, quote unquote, or struggle to find a word here or there, or have a bit of vocal fry, but all of that stuff has to be calculated, because in the kind of thing you just did as Gilda, it's about communicating the story, right?
Exactly. And that is one of the trickiest things with any kind of acting in movies, TV. What this is, exposition, getting across exposition without the audience knowing that you're getting across exposition. For anyone who doesn't know, exposition is background that maybe you need to know in order to understand what's going on. So
that's pretty good.
If if people need to know that this person is my sister, when she walks in the room, I'd be like, oh, well, look at my sister who's running late. You wouldn't necessarily say, well, look at my sister if it was real life, but we need to get across to the audience that this person is my sister who's entering the room. And a lot of times you can tell when exposition is happening, and it's like pulling teeth, and it's hard to watch or listen. So that is one of the hardest things to do, is to make exposition seem like it's just naturally being said and spoken about.
Go ahead, Lindsay. Go.
I want to back up a little bit as a kid, because I'm so confused. I said it before you came on a bit ago. We were talking about impersonations, and just the idea of like, I think the hardest part in starting impersonations is getting past, okay, I might sound dumb for a second. And then for me, that's what it'd be. I'm like, because I don't want anyone to think I'm dumb.
I sound dumb. I still think I sound dumb. That doesn't go away, really.
Well, it works though. I mean, for a lot of them, you're supposed to, I guess. But getting past that, was that good, or was you know what I mean? Like going through it. So for you as a kid, was there some point were you the kid? Were you a class clown? What was it that you can pinpoint back to your childhood that now today you're like, oh, that girl was going to end up doing this?
Well, I mean, both my parents are actors, so I grew up in an acting world, and I started acting when I was young, and I was very much I don't want to say drama kid, because it wasn't just like, oh, going around speaking in monologues everywhere about Shakespeare, like no, but I did love performing, whether that was crying in front of people and be like, oh my God, she can make herself cry, or making people laugh. I just really liked performing and having people's attention. Attention seeker here. Can you tell I'm a Leo?
Welcome. All are welcome here.
Thank you.
I get it.
So I mean, I've just been performing since a very young age. But funnily enough, I was doing impressions when I was younger because my dad was a very big impressionist. I mean, he was just spot on, and he got hired all the time to do impressions of certain people. And I remember I started doing impressions, but I clearly remember thinking, oh, I can't do this though for real because I'm not a guy. Because all the impressions my dad would do would be of men. And so I'm thinking, well, I can't do those impressions. Instead of thinking, you know what, you could probably do impressions of women. So my first impressions were those of men just because I was like copying my dad. And then it wasn't really until I was much older that I realized that I could do women and others. But I still didn't think it was anything of note. It wasn't until the pandemic, old COVID, that I was bored at home and desperately needing to be creative in some way. And I just started making silly, stupid videos of me doing impressions, and people liked them. And then I was like, oh, maybe only then, literally a few years ago, did I go, maybe I'm okay at this? Maybe.
Maybe?
But
Question
it
mark?
took that long, even though I've been doing them forever.
By the way, I actually I wasn't familiar with your dad's work, but I did know your mom's work. By the way, I
Oh,
remember I
really?
remember Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh, my
I
God.
remember that. And by the way, Lindsay, when you see your mom, and I think you probably have,
Yeah, I have. I know.
yeah, instantly recognizable face, guys. And by the way, Lindsay and I talk about this all the time. Being raised in being raised in an environment like that, often is both a blessing and a curse because you have these people who are training you unintentionally to do the thing that you're
Yeah.
going to do, while at the same time you begin to feel like Michael Corleone, and just when you thought you were out, they pull you back in.
But
And
it's a blessing and a curse on both sides, Jim. Don't you think, Marcella?
Yeah.
Like your take, because it's like
Oh, for
I was
sure.
not raised by parents in entertainment, but I'm in entertainment, and sometimes I
Right.
know they're listening, but I'm always like, if you guys would have been famous, maybe I would have been famous quicker or whatever. I don't know, joking. But then also on the flip side of that, now my daughter's being raised with two parents that are in entertainment, and she might
There you
hate
go.
it. She might shy away from it and hate it. So I just
Yeah.
wonder, it's a blessing or curse on either side, depending on obviously who you grew up to be. But did you realize as a child, I'm being raised in an entertainment home, or is it just mom and dad going to work?
It was just mom and dad going to work. I thought
Yeah.
everyone's parents were making voices, and I thought everyone's dad was home when they got home. Like, my dad would, instead of like, oh no, my dad is at work all the time, and sometimes my mom's here, and sometimes my mom's working. I just thought everyone's parents were always home. It was great. I was so confused when I go over to a friend's house and be like, what do you mean they're still at work? What do you mean? I don't understand. But my parents, they very much did not push me into acting at all. That was, I mean, I came out of the womb ready to go, like truly. I started doing plays, when I was 5 and just loving it. And they would, ask me if this is something I wanted to do. And I would say, no, no, no. And it wasn't until I was 12 that excuse me, it wasn't until I was 12 that I was like, you know what, I think I want to start doing this. And then they're like, oh, okay. And so we started auditioning and working and stuff. But, for most of my childhood, it was just theater and voiceovers and just having fun. But they were very good not to like push me or become like theater parents. Yeah, no.
well, theater.
That was not
This is
them.
what's crazy is that, and by the way, having experienced this on both sides, it's amazing that theater parents often are people who didn't get a chance to do theater. That's always an interesting situation that happens there too. Is the fact that
Wow.
often that movie parents are parents who didn't get a chance to do movies.
Right, right,
With your
right.
parents, it's like it's like the family from Cries and Whispers. Not Cries and Whispers. Yeah, it's not Cries.
Um,
Which one is the one? Oh, I can't think of it. The 4-hour one
no,
about
I
the
know what you're
about the
talking about.
Fanny and Alexander. Fanny and Alexander. Where it's like I'm raised in
Yeah,
this. This is
yeah,
just what happens. If you gravitate
yeah,
towards it, great. If not, see you on the other side, doctor. We'd love you to be a
exactly.
doctor. That'd be fantastic. But I'm kind of wondering, was there ever any piece of advice, genuine note, that either one of your parents gave you where you were like, wow, that is a gem. That's a kernel. Because, when you get swept up in it, you're getting so much information, it's often hard to figure out what was the one that made the most impact.
That's a really great question. And there have been a lot of things that they've said to me that are great. Something that has always stuck with me is in enjoy love what you do, and you'll never have to take a vacation a day in your life.
Love that.
And just really honing in, like being grateful for what we're doing. It's so easy to just like, oh man, why didn't I get that? I was just doing this job and I really wanted this one. Why didn't? And it's like, hey, we got to be grateful for what we get. There's other people who wish that they got the job that you just got. You got to be so grateful. So just really, every time I have a job, I'm just like, I am so blessed. I am so grateful right now for this job.
Okay.
For my parents.
So now those beautiful, I mean, it's you realize by some of those cliches, like do what you love, the money will follow, or the vacation line that you just said, you realize those cliches are genuinely true. Like,
they're genuinely true. And I saw it in my parents. My parents loved what they did. And sure, we would go on some family vacations and everything, but it wasn't because, oh my God, I'm burnt out, I need a vacation. I'm so stressed out, oh my God, I need to get away. It was just like, oh, we just want to spend some time with the family. But like, I would go with my parents to certain jobs, and I saw them, and they loved what they did. They were having fun. Every single time they worked, they were having fun. And I'm just like, this is what I want to do. I want to have fun for a living.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Which is what I do, really.
So do you have like a warm up as a singer? I do like red leather, yellow leather, red, all the cheesy things. And boo, boo, I think. So do you, is there a warm up for, because you also sing, you do so many voices great as well.
When I have to.
Well, you do, when you're doing, oh my gosh, Julie.
Oh, Julie Andrews. Yeah.
Julie Andrews. I mean, so beautiful when you're doing and Snow White. And anyways, so beautiful. But like, what is the warm up? And then maybe you could show us a warm up. And then maybe knowing that, Marcella, I don't know if you know or not, but the majority of our audience are over the road truck drivers. So is there from a warm up into? Is there a voice for them?
I prepared a little something for you guys that hopefully will work and entertain your audience. But a warm up, I have about like a 30-minute warm up that I'll do before I do my auditions in the morning, before I have a job or something. It's around there. Sometimes if I'm speeding through, like maybe 15 minutes or so. But yeah, it's trills, it's for speech, and then there's also for voice and things. And then, I'll drink my tea, I'll have my propolis spray, I'll do all the things. But I'm warmed up, so it's I don't need to do. And also, we're not going to do that on air. It's very boring, very, very boring.
Yeah,
weird sounds.
We'd like you to drink your tea for us on air. That would be great, actually.
I left it upstairs, but I'll pretend. Oh, delicious. Ooh, hot. But I did prepare. If you guys are interested,
yes.
A few impressions of some people, celebrities, if they were a morning radio DJ.
Love it.
So, and I was going to say, I won't say who the name is so you can guess, but a few of them, I have their name in the thing that I wrote about them, so you'll be able to know. But otherwise, we'll see if you guys can guess, okay?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, here's the first one, which does have names, so. Hi, it's Smooth Jams with Amy Adams on your Monday morning drive. Up next is your favorite, Careless Whisper.
That was Amy Adams.
Yes,
I got it.
Very good.
Nicely done.
That's so good.
Rise and shine, you early birds. It's a beautiful 34 degrees in Duluth, and we're taking your calls on why you just love life.
Drew Barrymore.
Yes.
Nicely done.
All right.
So good.
Kind of. All right. Keep it locked, keep loaded, and keep your hands at 10 and 2. This is the Daytime Unwind with your host, Maddie McSee. All right.
The female version of the reconnaissance. Of the reconnaissance, yes. But darn good.
Yes.
I get it a mile.
I love. All right. I'm Jenny Cool, and next up, by way of Long Beach, off of his debut album Doggy Style, it's Snoop Dogg with Murder Was the Case.
So spot on.
Oh my God!
I think that's better than her.
I do too. A little Stifler's mom worked in there.
Stifler's
Well,
mom,
we're out of town.
Jennifer Coolidge.
We're out of town at a time, which makes me so sad. But before we lose you, have you ever gotten the chance to do your impersonations for that person, whoever that person may be?
No, but I have had a few of them contact me and say how much they loved it. Jennifer Coolidge started following me, and she wrote me saying how much she loved them, which was like I died.
Oh, that's amazing.
I truly died. Yeah.
That's got to be that, well, I can die now moment, I would think.
Truly. I was like, and bury me alive right now. Yeah.
So we actually got to hear you make a couple of comments about being grateful. By the way, you know what else starts with a G?
Gilda.
Gilda Dent, by the way, Harvey Dent's wife, a.k.a. Two-Face, in the DC high-volume Batman The Long Halloween. All episodes are out now. Guys, go to Marcella Lentz-Pope, Lentzpope, as in the Holy Pontiff.com.
Yep.
Check her out. Get up and get down, because The Long Halloween is out now. Guys, that is great over-the-road listening. After you listen to Road Gang Radio, you should just download it, and listen it to everywhere where podcasts are available.
That's true. What a great thing to roll down the road and listen to is equal parts nostalgia and the future.
And
so
terrifying.
Cool.
Yeah.
And terrifying. Marcella, I want to be your best friend. Thank you for coming on.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Lindsay. Of course. Anytime, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Marcella.
Thank you. Maybe we can have you back around Halloween for some spookiness.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Have the best day and enjoy those flowers.
Thank you. I will. Thank you, Lindsay, for the flowers.
Okay.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
You too. Bye, friend.